Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. We will be practicing a yin sequence today, focusing specifically on the inner line of the legs. I'd like everyone to grab as many props as you need to feel comfortable. And we'll start class today in a seat. So you can choose to elevate your hips so that they are slightly higher than the knees. And then sit with your legs crossed, bringing your right shin forward. And then with that, allow the sit bones to ground. Let the spine lengthen. See if you can bring your ears 1 inch or so back in space. And just let your arms soften towards your legs. Closing the eyes. Beginning to notice how the physical body feels in this moment. The breath, it is the gateway. It's the portal to the body. It's the portal to presence. So see if you can allow the breath to guide. Simply observing how the belly rises and falls. And by noticing the breath, we shift our focus inwards. Feel free to keep the eyes closed. It'll be really simple from here on out. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, palms to touch. Exhale, hands through to the heart center. Twice more, just like that. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, hands to the heart. Once again, inhale, arms high. Exhale to the heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, bring your right hand out to the right. Left bicep can stay by the left ear. And then just begin to find a gentle side stretch. So this can be really, really quite simple. Keep pressing your right hand into the ground as you ground through the left hip. Taking a big inhale into the side bodies. And as you exhale, you'll turn that left shoulder, that left pinky finger down towards the floor. Inhale, open up, stacking the left side body on top of the right. Exhale, close it off. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale last time, open up. And then as you exhale, we'll slowly begin to circle that left arm down to the ground. Walk the palms forward, softening your forehead down to the floor. Vertebra by vertebra, slowly lift the torso, rise all the way up to a seat. Cross whatever leg is in front. It should now be the left shin forward. And then gently begin to walk your left arm out to the left, right bicep by the right ear. Press through the left palm, ground through the right hip. First, just feel that opening from the right hip to the rib cage all the way through to the right fingertips. Then take in a big inhale into the side bodies. Exhale, close that right shoulder, right pinky finger down towards the floor. 2 more full cycles of breath. Inhale to open. Exhale to close it off. Last time. Inhale, open up. Last few rounds of breath here. And then walk your right fingertips down to the ground. Begin to circle your arms forward, melting your forehead down to the floor once again. And vertebra by vertebra, lift the torso, rise all the way up to a seat once again. We'll come into a butterfly pose from here. You're welcome to continue to elevate your hips if that would feel good. And then bring the soles of the feet to touch. Create a healthy, quite a bit of distance between the heels and the hips as you allow the torso to fold forward. And I'd like either for your head to somewhat easily find the feet if that happens naturally. Otherwise, we bring some pillows to support the chest, to support the forehead. Allow yourself to settle into stillness as quickly as you can. Allowing the breath to speak louder than anything else. The mind, it is probably going to wander throughout class. And that's completely okay. That's a part of the practice. Your job is not to eliminate thought, but instead just to turn your focus, turn your internal gaze towards the breath, towards presence as often as you can. Take in one more full breath in and a full breath out. And then from the sit bones, vertebra by vertebra, lift the torso, rise all the way up to a seat. And then we'll come into dragonfly pose from here, opening the legs wide. So wide enough that you do feel an opening in the inner line of the legs, but not so wide that you find the back body rounding. If you find the back body rounding quite a lot, then I'd like you to sit up on a pillow. Have a healthy stack of pillows out in front of you, blankets. Your legs should be only about 60 to 70% of your full straddle, I would say. Again, yin, our goal is always to stay within that intelligent edge of sensation sustainably. And then slowly begin to melt forward until you find resistance. So it might not take very long. Your pillow stack can be very, very high. Find a shape that you can stay within, that you can soften within. And then close the eyes. Call on the breath. remembering that the mind is going to wander. How quickly can you come back to presence? Follow your next exhale all the way out. And then vertebra by vertebra. Lift the torso, rise up with control. And we're going to be very cautious here, knowing that dragonfly can be quite sensational in its release. Use your hands to help bend the legs, bring the soles of the feet down to the floor. Hands can come behind you, and then gently just windshield wiper your legs from side to side. And then we will slowly lower all the way onto our backs. You can grab some pillows to have nearby. Otherwise, we make our way to a brief Shavasana, opening the legs wide, opening the arms wide, taking up space. Just noticing and welcoming whatever is here right now. Bend your legs. Bring the soles of the feet down to the floor. And we'll make our way to broken wing pose, rolling off to the right, sliding your left hand behind the back, left thumb points up, all the other 4 fingers now point to the right, and then lower your body weight completely onto that left palm. And you can either keep the neck neutral, or you could choose to look over either shoulder. Find a shape that is sustainable. Finding stillness. Just simply letting your curiosity awaken as the breath communicates with sensation. We'll be here just a little bit longer. Is there one more way that you could soften? Slowly begin to bring the neck back through neutral. Bend the legs, soles of the feet down to the ground. Roll off to the right. And release that left arm long. A few moments to pause. See if you can challenge yourself and resist the urge to fidget. And only when you're ready, you'll now roll to the left so the right side body peels off of the ground. Slide your right hand behind the back, right thumb points up, and then lower your body weight completely onto that right palm, which faces down. And then you can extend the legs long if that feels right. You could shift your gaze over either shoulder. 2 minutes within this shape. Observe yourself. Observe your experience as you simply be. There really isn't anything to do. There's only using the breath as a tool to welcome what already is. We're in our last minute within the shape. Is there one more way that you could release some effort? And know that effort often comes in the form of expectation. So see if you can soften around that too. Slowly bring the neck back through neutral. And then bend your legs, soles of the feet down to the ground. Roll off to the left. Very slowly, carefully release that right arm, settling into stillness. A few rounds of breath just to simply awaken, to notice the space between. And gently guide the knees inwards towards your chest, giving yourself a gentle squeeze. Once again, you can sway a little bit from side to side. And then you'll open your arms wide, arms out to a T. Shift your hips 1 or 2 inches to the left. Keep the knees close. And lower the knees to the right, spinal twist. Knees can find pillows or the floor. And then you can choose to keep your gaze over either shoulder. Allowing the breath to be your main focal point for the next few minutes of stillness. Is there a way you could release some effort for our last minute here? Next inhale, slowly bring the knees back inwards towards the midline. Just take a moment and find a neutral spine. You can lift your hips up and down for a moment and just simply pause. And see if you can notice where you feel space, where you feel freedom, where you feel restriction within the physical body. And when you feel complete with that observation, you can shift your hips 1 or 2 inches to the right. Keep the knees in close to the chest as you lower the knees to the left, spinal twist. Choose to look over either shoulder, settling into stillness, settling into softness as quickly as you can. Using every breath to really be here. To really be here within whatever else happens to be. Be here for just a minute longer. Next inhale, slowly guide the knees back inwards towards your midline. Any last movements that your body is craving are always more than welcome. Otherwise, you make your way into your final resting shape. Final Shavasana. Extending your right foot to the right corner of the mat, left foot to the left corner of the mat. Arms relax wide, palms face up. Let yourself simply receive. The medicine of this moment. Begin to deepen the breath. Allowing that deeper breath to inspire movement, just small flickers into the fingertips, the toes. Knowing you can move so much slower than my words, eventually your movements will become larger, maybe finding a full body stretch from the tips of the toes all the way through to the tips of the fingers. And then rolling off onto one side of the body, whatever side of the body is calling to you. And in the path that is most simple, most gentle, rise all the way up to a comfortable seat, letting the sit bones ground, the spine lengthen. Hands through to the center of the heart. I'd like you to think of a word, one word, of what you would like to embody, how you would like to feel as you move throughout the rest of the day or evening. And to that sentiment, to that intention, we bow. And so it is. Thank you for practicing.